Right, we're back again. So today we're doing accelerator cables. We're going to make our own. These are the crusty little fellas that came off Winnie. Pretty knackered. Sort of remember that the splitter used to sit down around here, and there was a longer cable and a shorter cable to each side. So one splitter was on the other side, one splitter was on this side. I'm thinking this time I'm going to mount the splitter sort of nice and central up the top here. So I've got a short line that'll come through up to the accelerator, and then from here we'll split down each side nicely so it's nice and even. So instead of having the two different length lines, I'm going to go with the longer one. I've marked which one I'm going to copy. I'm just going to sit that there, virtually cut these sheaths, two of the sheaths, and seen as though the cable inside was in pretty good nick, I'm actually going to reuse this, which is going to save me a little bit of time, because as you can see it's a very small little nipple on the end of this cable. That is to fit inside the splitter. Originally I was going to make one. You can see how small that is. That slides through, if I can get it in there, and then sits down inside there. So I saw a dude on YouTube with a bloody awesome idea. He virtually got this size, or whatever size nipple he wanted. He drilled that diameter through the center of a bolt, and then had a nail come up through the bottom of the bolt so he could set the depth. And then he filled the top of the bolt with solder, put his cable in, let it go off, and then used that nail to knock the bolt through, which pushed out the actual nipple, like perfect nipple. It was a killer idea, and I'd still definitely want to try it. I reckon it's he smashed it with that sort of idea. I've seen other guys do it with pieces of timber and so forth, but this just looked an absolute treat. But for this time round, these cables look pretty good, the inners, so I'm just going to give it new sheaths. I'm going to make up the new sheaths, and yeah, we'll get some new lines on this baby. So let's start with, we'll cut the new outers. I've got my little kit here, just an eBay kit from a local seller here that gives you all different sized nipples, etc. So I've already picked the ones out. These babies here are the ones that fit the bings. So I've got them. I've got one of these little ones ready for the accelerator, the throttle once I get it. I've got the ends for the sheath. So I've got everything set. Got my little $16 solder pot off eBay. Still filled with my 60/40 solder there. I've got the Baker's resin liquid ready to go. And we'll see if we can't make up some nice sexy accelerator cables. Alright, so as I said, first things first, let's get this baby marked. So I know that these go right to the end, so I can virtually mark my cable at the length I want it. Oh, sorry, the outer sheath. So we're going to have two at the same length. I'll double check this in a minute. Last time I cut it with my parrot nose cutters, but this time I'm getting the trusty 12-volt grinder out again. I think this will do a better job. As you can see from that, it's nice and open, nice and clean. I think it does a better job than the actual parrot nose. Same with this side. All nice. So next thing, we shall put on our ferrules. This is a big one, guys. Don't forget to put these buggers on. These aren't slotted, so obviously they must go on before we put the nipples on. Otherwise you'll be cutting your cable and starting again. Alright, so from here we do the same as last time. We feed these little babies on. Got our Baker's soldering fluid. We'll give these a really good clean up with acetone. Alright, so our solder has melted, and just get rid of all the crappy bits. Once it's melted down, I'll turn this back to about 8 or so I don't overheat it. Let's have a crack. So from here, we want a nice bit of flux on it. Make sure you're wearing gloves and glasses because this splutters. And in for 10. There we have one. There we have it, guys. Give it a bit of a clean up, bit of a sand off. She's all done. She's locked in. So yeah, let's get the splitter fitted and get this sitting on. So we go through here. I'll do part 2 once I get my new throttle, which should be in the next day or 2, I'm hoping. Put that on there. That's it. I'll go get these screwed up and I'll show you a pic once I'm done. Here we have it. So this is the vision. I'm just going to have it sitting in the center up there on the tank. Cable going through up to the throttle. So far, so good. Alright, final stages. So I've taken I had the cable running in here around up to the throttle. I've taken that out so I can now take a measurement and get that cut. I've also, while I was there, I had a small piece of inner that I had attached to the actual Moto throttle. So I've marked that with the actual nipple in. You can see that little green mark. That is virtually the end of this. So thinking if I cut this cable, reinstall it, I'll feed my inner back up, which I've got hooked into the splitter now, and then when it reaches that screwed in coupling there, I know where to cut. Once I add that little bit on from the green mark up, I can cut it and attach the final nipple, and then we shall have throttle. So let's get this outer sheath cut first. Right, so as I was saying before, if I sit that virtually in there, I know that that green mark is right at the end of this little baby here. So virtually if I line up the green mark with pretty much the back of this here, that should be where I need the actual nipple. Plus I can add a little bit because I've got the adjustment here and also down at the splitter. So we'll get that marked up now and we should be good to go. Very quick one, nearly did a boo-boo. These things aren't slotted either, so I've got to make sure that it's actually through the end of this first before I put the nipple on. Alright, for the nipple end on the accelerator, I'm going to go a different route. I'm actually going to try the screwed type just to see the difference. So I've fed it through I've given it a really good tighten with the Allen key, holding it with some pliers, and the thing looks bloody solid, so definitely another option. I'm going to throw this in and just see how it goes. Worst comes to worst, I can throw a soldered one on there, but just seeing as though I had it all in the bike, virtually and tied in to get the length, it was just going to be a pain in the butt to actually have to take every single cable off now and pull the whole lot out to get it over to the solder pot. I don't really want the pot near the bike because it does splatter quite a bit. So let's see how it goes. I'll get this fitted up and we'll give it a bit of a test. Alright, actually rate that little nipple. So yeah, bang on the screw type if you don't want to have a go at the solder. I've got it all hooked up now. You can see I've got a bit of free play there at the moment until we actually get them turning. We've got good snap back and getting all the way through. So first up, I'll take up as much as I can in this adjuster, just so it looks prettier up on the bar, and then we'll take up whatever it needs on that one. Job done. So we've got no slack at all and full range and a really good snapback. Bloody stoked. Awesome bit of kit from Mesmoto. Also loving these billet aluminium grips from Jack's Garage. These are bloody sexy. I've been hanging to get these things on. I finally got them on. I think they match the bike really nice. They pretty much pick up the black and the highlights from the motor. They're awesome. Check out jacksgarage.com.au if you want to score yourself some of these babies. And you can also hit up Twisted 5 for 5% off anything that you buy from his store. This is where I've got all my motor gadget gear from. The grips, a few other little items, got the YSS shocks, etc. Check it out. But that's it for now, guys. Pretty stoked with that. We have accelerator, we have choke. It's nearly time to fire this baby up. Thanks for watching.